What is a pirate's favorite letter?
R.
You think it'd be the R, but it's actually the C.
Oh, the C. Wait, do you have enough? I feel like you've got like 10 of these. Today we're with Zack Oates for New Business Ideas. He is the founder, CEO of Ovation. They do customer reviews for companies. And so we're going to start off, the way this is going to work, we're going to give him 2 minutes to share his elevator pitch. If you like it, stay. If you don't like it, bounce. And then after that, we'll learn more about his idea and more about Zack and his background. So, we'd love if you stuck around. This idea is for you guys to go run with. Zack's sharing this idea, so I just want to get that clear. In the past, people have watched the episodes and they're like, oh, that's cool that he's working on that idea. I'm like, no, he's not working on this idea. And the point is that you could work on this idea.
I want it.
You want it. I'm going to start the clock. Go.
Okay. Here's the app. It is an app where you can take a photo and change the opacity of another photo, so you can do recreation photos and set it up so that you can see exactly what the old photo was and overlay it with that with what you're actually seeing. So here's the thing: recreation photos are huge. Okay, you could do a then and now photo of a city, of a family, of a group of friends. The problem is every time you go to set it up, it looks a little bit different than the other photo. And so it's like, well, it's kind of similar. How cool would it be to have an app where you can put in your photo and then change the opacity and take a photo so you can set up the figures exactly where they should be to make an exact recreation. And then the other cool thing you could do is it'll invite you when it recognizes that you're back at the same location. It'll pop up a reminder saying, do you want to do a recreation of this photo? And then you could have a public forum, so you could do before and afters, or where you can take even historical photos, mark on a GPS coordinates where that photo was taken from. Mm-hmm. And then when people get to that, you can say, hey, do your recreation photo here. And so you could actually do recreation photos of cities, of landmarks. And so you could do like photos from like the 20s and 30s and 40s and what it looks like today. And so this photo recreation app is something that I just have always wanted, have never found, and I think it's just a really good idea.
That's a very unique idea.
And I would love to have some advisor equity.
All right. You totally can. Email Zack at ovationup.com, right? Ovation Up? There we go.
Yeah, but seriously, like think about it with kids, right? I've got these photos and I would love to do recreation photos, but it's hard to like set up the exact background and where people, the positions of people. And so I just think it would be really cool to do that and then layer on top of that the social of like doing the same thing with friends and then connecting it with everyone for locations.
Kind of like an augmented reality app. And you would have a huge database where photos could be public or private, and you would match photos up.
Yeah, and because your phone is already tracking the GPS coordinates of photos, if I could track that, especially if I could connect to Instagram or Facebook, and I could see correlate a photo with a photo, so I could see the photo that you liked enough to post, and then see where that photo was, the GPS coordinates of that photo. I can give recommendations to recreate photos.
Okay, so I have never heard of this idea, so you get an A+ for originality. Good job, Zack. Good job. Good job. Keep dancing. So here's the $1 million question. Why have you not done this yet?
So here's something that I don't love about the idea. It's just the fact that I'm not sure if it is faddish or how long. It seems like it's easy to copy. I don't know if there's any patents out there for it, and if they're not, I just blew my chances at getting one. So that's part of my question about that. I don't know what the long-term business case for a tool like that. Imagine you're able to make your own coffee table book about places you've been, and every like cool vacation spot, we're like, hey, don't forget to go to this location and snag this photo of a then and now. And it could be like then in the 20s, and then you could like put yourself in it walking, and like have something. I just think it'd be super cool.
And you could see who else had been there and like scroll back in time.
Yeah, and like if people wanted to like have their public photos posted there, then you can like see their photos as well at that location. So it's a specific, lat long sharing where you have to be there in order to like see those photos. So it's kind of a way to connect people across, history and the globe.
I like it. It'd be interesting. Yeah. How would you do your revenue model?
Ads.
Ads? Okay.
There'd probably be some and then we do like a premium version that would take out the watermark.
Okay. You could like connect to the Library of Congress and just suck in all their photos. I wonder if they're geotagged yet.
Well, maybe. But if not, that could be part of like the whole mission of like find geotag, photos in your location, right? And we could just upload it like, this is a photo in DC. Where can you do this, right? So we could have like a scavenger hunt and we can like kind of like make it fun so that people are like, hey, I'm recreating this photo, which is in this spot, and then everyone else that wants to go to that spot and recreate that photo can.
And then gamify it and leaderboard it?
Yeah. Kind of like Billy and Graves did,
How would you make it hip for like the younger generation? Because they're usually the current early adopters of these apps, right?
Yeah. So, but I think the whole recreation, offering them to recreate photos of themselves, is a cool way to do it. And like upload photos of you.
I dig it. So when are you going to sell Ovation and start this?
I'm putting this idea out there because I want someone to make it. And if someone gets there before me, I'm happy with that. I just want the app.
And the advisor equity.
And the advisor equity. Don't forget about that.
Okay. Ooh, cool.
I trademarked everything I've said in this conversation.
Trademark. Tell us a little bit about your background, Zach.
So background is I have started 3 startups. One was a nonprofit, one where I built a algorithm to translate social media data into gift recommendations. And John was actually the person who told me that I should pursue that idea. Then I went on and did a few other startups, one with John. I did one during my MBA where I was able to win the world's biggest business competition. And that was like pretty crazy. Out of 800 teams, we placed number 1. And then I went on and did customer experience consulting at PwC and wrote a book about dating. Wait for it. Because dating never works until it does, and it will.
What's been your biggest lesson at Ovation? What was your biggest surprise there?
Learning what I feel like is a formula for success in startups.
Okay.
So with a startup, you have to stay alive and excited long enough to get lucky.
Okay.
It's that simple. I always thought it was just like hard work, but it's not hard work. Like you've got to watch your finances so carefully and make sure that you have great projections to get you to long-term success. And you got to stay excited.
Okay.
You got to like passionate, and you do that by making sure that it's a problem you're really interested in and staying close to your customers and making sure that you're actually solving that. Because if you're solving their problem and it's a problem you're interested in, then that's how it's like rejuvenated every day.
You know Jason Lemkin from SaaStr? I just had to look it up because I'm not smart enough to remember. He said that if you can get 10 customers or 10 different revenue sources for your idea, like that's the make or break. So I mean, you're at 350, so you're well beyond that.
Oh yeah.
But if you can get 10 different people to pay, he says he thought that was the tipping point.
Contextually, maybe. It just depends, right? If I'm an enterprise SaaS company, I can get 2 or 3 and I've got it made. If I'm going after SMBs, then I got 100 and it's like, okay, maybe you have something.
Okay.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Because you charge what? 300? Is the magic number 300 a month?
We charge, pricing starts at $149.
Okay.
Like 10 customers doesn't do a ton for us.
Mm-hmm.
10 customers that we signed up last Friday.
Okay.
So that's what we need.
Okay. What's the hardest part about the SMB space?
The desire for super unique features, because there's a lot of people that are clamoring in the SMB space, right? So we do things the way that we found to be most valuable, the most value creation for our customers, and we don't put in a lot of fluff. We don't put in a lot of perceived value features, but there are other companies that are built on perceived value. And so these companies that switch over to us are like, whoa, but I like this one thing in that one company, and that one company did, and that's what I want you to do as well. It's like, well, we don't do that. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes we have to walk away from deals. We've walked away from thousands and thousands of dollars of deals because we didn't want to build snowflake features.
Okay.
We'll build features that solve big problems and create real value.
Okay. I think it's the hardest part when everyone's asking for different features and figuring out how to listen.
Yeah, it's tough, right? And you need to draw a line somewhere, and it's and how can you be most inclusive of the size of a problem and the scale of the solution?
That's deep, Zach. Super deep. Cool. Well, how can we help you out, Zach? I know you're busy. You're swamped. Sign up for Ovation is the first way. If you have a restaurant
or retailer in the United States or Canada, we're ready to go. We're breaking international outside of North America here in the next few months, but right now we're focused on US, Canada.
Why have you not gone international yet?
Texting is a bit tricky internationally.
So that's what's holding you back?
Yeah, and focus. I mean, like we have some clients right now that we could have closed a bunch of locations in Australia, but they weren't willing to pay the extra fee for us to do the work to make it compatible in Australia. And so I'm not gonna divert our technical focus when we could sell just as well here in the United States and Canada.
Okay. I know, like, I've talked with people about the space before, and I said if I were to do it, I would skip the US and go straight international.
There's just a lot of translation issues. There's texting issues.
Translation is not that hard. I would have like picked a large market. Like, I mean, you could pick India like for all I care. India, Brazil. India. I mean, India is English. What's the challenge with texting internationally? Why is Twilio not solve that? Or is it just too expensive to use Twilio in your space?
Super expensive, like literally 10 to 20 times more expensive per text.
Okay.
So then we have to like broker deals in each of those countries. So again, it just causes all of this extra work. And so I'm willing to do that for enough money. But right now we're like building out some really big solutions. We're not just building out like features now, we're building out like whole new solutions. And so our technical bandwidth is limited.
Unlimited potential, Zach.
It is, but also creativity loves constraints, right?
Yeah, that's the hardest part. I was on a call with someone today, and that's where we'll wrap it up. He's like, I wanted to do this and this. I'm like, no, pick one. He's like, but I want both. And I'm like, no, like the magic is in focus. Do one thing really, really well.
Chase two rabbits, both escape.
Very true, very true. Well, thank you so much, Zack Oates from ovationup.com. If you need reviews for your restaurant or your retail business, customer experience, if you want to delight them, check out Ovation. And then, as always, there's more videos here to watch, and smash that like button and subscribe if you want to get more new business ideas. So thank you so much, Zach, for coming in. Yay for Zach.
Thanks, buddy. Woo, 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 woo.
Cool.